Welcome back to the free-to-play feature. I'm Kevin, and in today's video we'll be breaking down the Ninja Tour. But for starters, I'm going to introduce you guys to my ticket strategy. All the things that I look at from a resource standpoint, from a utilization standpoint, to maximize your ticket usage for your specific needs in the game. We need tickets to level up our inventory. And as we level up our inventory, we receive more bonus points on the tracks in which those items are top shelf. Base points are a factor in the formula for bonus points in Mario Kart Tour. And as we know, drivers have twice as many base points for their ceiling as do karts and gliders do. So for a high end, without using points cap tickets, your ceiling for base points is 800. For karts and gliders, the base cap is 400. Just like how your driver will have twice as many base points as a kart or a glider, it will also receive an equally scaled amount of bonus points additional per action in the race. If you have a level 7 800 base point driver, it will receive 48 bonus points per action, compared to that of a level 7 400 point kart or glider. It will receive 24 bonus points per action. When you apply points cap tickets, the bonus points per action is equally scaled as you move along. For example, if you completely max out a driver, which means level 7 1400, you'll receive as many as 84 bonus points per action. And the comp room will move for a kart or a glider, which is level 7 700 base points, will receive 42 bonus points per action. Gliders provide additional combo time, which factors into combo points, a completely separate scoring mechanism within the game. And karts also increase the amount of bonus points in your actions. Therefore, drivers are only relatively 2 times as valuable as karts and gliders are. However, there are some implications in the game in terms of how bonus points are expanded as you level up your driver. It's not an equal investment as you go along. As you guys know, in the free-to-play feature for the Snow Tour, I'll provide the link above, and in the description below, I provided a table of values in terms of bonus points per action per ticket spent. And what that table showed, which I'll provide again in the space below here, is that as you level up, you're receiving fewer bonus points per action per ticket than you do in the early stages of leveling up. Before, I was just looking at this directly in terms of high-end drivers and the value of the skill up tickets for the level and the value of the points cap tickets. However, there are additional implications when you compare drivers to that of karts and gliders. And that's through a concept I'll call ticket equivalency, which is the number of tickets required to get an equivalent amount of bonus points per action. Now, as we established, if you have a level 7 kart or glider, you're going to receive 24 bonus points per action. And if you were to search for a way to get 24 bonus points per action from a driver, you would see that you only need to take a driver to level 4. So let's say you have a level 1 driver and you have a level 1 kart or a level 1 glider. You would need to use 14 tickets in order to take a level 1 kart all the way to level 7 to get your 24 bonus points per action. Or you can use only 4 tickets to bring a level 1 driver to level 4 and get an equal 24 bonus points per action. 4 tickets is approximately 28% that of 14 tickets, meaning that to get the same ticket equivalency, driver tickets are 3.5 times as valuable as kart or glider tickets. The value only comes down to approximately 2 times as valuable when accounting for fully maxing out a driver as you would be looking to do with a kart or a glider. As a free-to-play player, you only have access to approximately 26,000 coins per tour when there's not a special event rolling around. So your strategy will differ if you're not a free-to-play player. However, my hope is that this information will open up your horizons in terms of seeing the value of the tier shop high-end driver ticket. At that 15,000 coin exchange rate, it's still much more valuable than a 10,000 coin cart or glider ticket. The only reason why the cart and the glider ticket is often so valuable for Gold Pass and pay-to-win players is because they are rare to come across. Now that we've established some of the concepts behind the value of driver, cart, and glider tickets, let's take a look at how many tickets we actually get. Now, this is specifically looking at a free-to-play account. You will receive one set of normal tickets. That's the driver, cart, and glider through the tour gifts. And in a normal token shop, we'll receive 3 tickets of a certain kind. So that will be specifically driver, specifically cart, or specifically glider. And it will also come along with 1 super ticket of that same class. And now we have access to the total points challenge, which provides us with 1 normal ticket, 1 super ticket, and 1 high-end ticket of a specific class. Therefore, if we deduce the average amount of tickets that we'll receive per tour when there isn't a special event going on, we'll see that we receive 2 1/3 normal ticket of each kind, and we'll receive 2/3 of 1 ticket per class for super, and only 1/3 ticket per class of high-end tickets. However, the game has gotten very generous in the last half year, and what I did is I went through all of the special events. I added up the totals of how many tickets we received of each kind specifically, and I averaged it out over the number of tours that we've had since these bonuses have come to pass. I'll put the chart in the space below, and what I found is that we've actually averaged receiving 1 high-end driver ticket per tour. Keep in mind that this isn't a steady 1 high-end driver ticket per tour that you would expect to find with a Gold Pass account. These are sprinkled sporadically, so we might get 2 or 3 in 1 tour, and then we may go dry for 2 or 3 tours after that. While it's not quite on the standard of Gold Pass, what we have seen is that free-to-play players now have account situations that are similar to that of Gold Pass prior to these special events occurring, right? Because since those special events have been occurring, Gold Pass players have been afforded additional opportunities for tickets. So basically everyone's scale has shifted upwards in terms of their capabilities within the game. Another new outlet for tickets has been the tier shop. First introduced in the Halloween tour, I've taken a look at my data. Now, based on what I've said, for the value of tickets, I only spend for high-end driver tickets in the tier shop, the 15,000 tickets, because if you apply the 2 times value rule to it, you'll see that even a 10,000 coin glider ticket at normal daily selects price doesn't yield the same bonus points per action per ticket as would a driver ticket would, therefore justifying the purchase at 15,000 coins. However, I will not touch a 13,000 coin cart ticket or glider ticket in the tier shop. So the only data I can present you with from my account is that of high-end drivers. And what I've found is that since the Halloween tour in 2020, I've purchased 8 high-end driver tickets. However, you guys remember what happened to me in the snow tour, and due to the buy an item from the tier shop challenge, I wasn't able to procure the coins needed to purchase the final high-end driver ticket. So I've actually seen 9 high-end driver tickets, which averaged across the number of tours we've had the tier shop is approximately 32.5% of the time I've come across a high-end driver ticket. However, keep in mind that when they announced the level 7 was coming into the game, they offered us 4 straight tours in which we had a full set of high-end tickets available in the tier shop. If we don't account for those, since that's an extraordinary event, then we'll see that I received a high-end driver ticket in my tier shop only 25% of the time, or roughly once every 4 weeks. The old standard way of receiving tickets is that through daily selects, through maxing out your daily selects, and then once they're gone, you'll receive a ticket. Now, the rules for this vary depending upon what you're looking at. If you're looking at premium tickets, such as the premium normal items in the daily selects, they're called within the community the Holy Trinity, because they're easy to max out, and once they're maxed out, if that single item will turn up in your shop on a given day, it will be replaced by a ticket. Those premium normal items are Baby Luigi, the Pipe Buggy, and the Piranha Plant Parafoil. The frequency of premium normals in the shop is not constant. It's subject to variance, so some of you may hit on multiple tickets in a day, while others of you may run dry from tickets for a considerable length of time. The more reliable way to receive tickets is through the Super Glider slot, which is the bottom right-hand side in your daily selects panel, the bottom right, and that's because there's only 4 gliders. And once you max out those 4 gliders, unless you're hit with a premium or a high-end glider in that slot, you will receive a ticket every single day. The kinds of tickets that are available is based on what you have maxed out within your shop. So if you have only normals maxed out, you'll only receive normal tickets. But if you max out your Holy Trinity and also max out a daily selects high-end glider, such as the Gold Glider, the Swooper, or the Cloud Glider, you will start to receive high-end tickets. It doesn't have to be a glider, mind you. It could also be a cart, such as the Bad Wagon, or another one that's popular to do, especially among pay-to-win players, is Pauline. Since Pauline is herself a premium driver slot in the bottom row, so she double counts for a ticket when it hits a premium day, or just as a general high-end that can unlock a ticket for a Holy Trinity normal slot or a Super Glider slot ticket. Now that we've covered the value of tickets and how to get tickets and how many you can expect to find, the question is, what do you invest them in? Now, this question has to be answered differently for everyone, since we all have different motivations and interests in playing the game, and there's no judgment whether you want to play to win or if you want to play to have fun, if you want to play with your favorites, because this mostly applies only to free-to-play, but no matter what you invest in as a free-to-play player, you're going to reach the relative same plateau as other free-to-play players, and that's because there's just not enough resources available in our accounts in order to go beyond the obvious plateau that exists for us. So if you invest into a coin box character, you're going to be able to score more, but then you're going to be up against opponents who can also score more, and your loadouts will be lacking against those higher scoring opponents, and therefore it's going to be more difficult moving forward, as it would be if you invest into lower scoring items and then you plot along at a much more leisurely rate. However, it's much more nuanced than just saying go invest into whatever you want, because there are many pitfalls in terms of investing your tickets. And there's plenty of tools out there in the community that you can make use of if you're unsure. Now, I pour a lot of time into this game. I pour a lot of emotional, mental energy into it. So I've done a very good job from my own account of figuring out how I can invest into the characters I like without being detrimental to my own game, wasting resources. That's the last thing you want to do, because especially as a free-to-play player, it takes so much time and energy to acquire these resources. You don't want to just blow it on things that won't help your account in the long run. Tabor has a data site that has some of the most comprehensive information available. There's just about anything you could ever want to know within that data, but it can be overwhelming. For free-to-play players, I recommend focusing on the weighted course value numbers. They really won't steer you far in the wrong direction, because what happens is the overall rankings that are shown and updated with every tour are based on the viability of the skills that every item possesses. And it's skewed based on the survey data based on which items are better than others. So for example, coin box is the best item in the game, so it accounts for a much stronger score in the overall rankings than anything else. This information is most useful for pay-to-win players who have an inventory consisting of most things or everything, in which case the all-important question is, what is the most valuable driver or cart glider to use on any stage, right? But as a free-to-play player, you're going to have gaps in your inventory everywhere. So what's more important is to take a look at, it accounts for the track coverage that everything receives in a weighted manner based on their exposure within tours, favoring the normal version of each track and also the reverse and trick forms compared to those of the reverse trick and city tracks, which are much more exclusive and seldom seen. And what this does is that drivers, carts, and gliders that have a higher score in the weighted course value have a higher likelihood of being used in a given cup. So it's kind of like a numbers game, right? A higher weighted course value won't guarantee that the driver that you invest into will be in ranked mode. However, it does make it more likely just from a probability standpoint. It's somewhat analogous to electrons within an atom. So within the nucleus of the atom, you have your neutrons and your protons, and surrounding that you have the electron cloud. They're orbiting the nucleus. However, each orbital doesn't have a set number of electrons. In actuality, there's just a mathematical function that predicts the probability that an electron is in that orbital. And that's kind of how I perceive the weighted course values to be in terms of your inventory within the game. And that is, just because it has a higher weighted course value doesn't mean that it's going to occur more frequently in ranked or it's going to be in the next ranked. However, given the long run, that number will come through true more times than a poor weighted course value driver or any piece of inventory for that matter would come in with a poor value. So let's say you've identified a few drivers that you have that are high ranking in either the overall rankings or the weighted course value. How do you decide if they're complementary to one another? Well, you could go ahead and do the legwork as I would recommend you do, or if that sounds tedious for you, you can use BAM and GERB spreadsheet, which you've heard much about in Cart Life's videos. Sammy has greatly encouraged the community to make use of this resource. I myself had tried it out for the first time in the lead up to this video, and I found it's actually very easy to do. It took me only about a minute to input all my data, and the formulas are really quite remarkable. So applause for you guys for setting this up. It's really an elegant resource, and what it does is it ranks the viability of your drivers based on a number of complex factors, and that is the strength of the character, which is the level and the points cap that you have it set to, the coverage that it provides you, and the amount of overlap that exists within your inventory, both in general and also with coin box drivers, who obviously would trump the potential scoring that you have of any of the other characters with other items. As you guys know, I like to invest into the characters of the Donkey Kong franchise, and I've done a really good job actually of avoiding overlap. As you can see in my tier 1 drivers, I have relatively low overlap, and not only have I used my tickets well in terms of giving each of them a clear path on their tracks, but also I've done a good job of not using my resources in terms of rubies, pulling for things that would potentially threaten my existing investments, therefore freeing up those investments for things that would provide me with a greater niche in terms of maximizing what my account is capable of doing. See, So if you look at this in terms of a comprehensive, holistic approach, it's not about just scoring the maximum to see what's possible. That's a very cool and admirable thing to do. However, you can be just as successful running a strategy, investing in a character you like, and finding complementary pieces that go along with that that won't overlap. And you can minimize the overlap and resource waste and be just as successful as someone who invests in the standard Coinbox Lucky 7 strategy. So what are the key takeaways from this? Well, they are that if you are free to play, the amount of high-end tickets that are made available to you is quite limited, as is the number of coins that you're receiving in a given tour, which means that you can't invest on a regular basis in order to win ranked mode. That's the gradient. We talked about it in my Tiers Explained video. In case you missed it, I'll provide the link above. Mario Kart Tour is a game of resources. If you're free to play, those resources will be limited, so you have to have limited expectations with what you can hope to achieve in your end goal. You can go very far as a free-to-play player, especially if you use the strategies and concepts that I discuss. For example, within the free-to-play group of the Kart Life Discord, we had a passing of the torch in this past week in which Justin C., longtime top-ranking free-to-play player, fell in tier yet again, thus passing the torch to Isai. Isai has been doing amazing. Congratulations. You've been using the strategies that we've been talking about for ranked mode, underbaking his scores. I was so proud of him actually in the last week. He had a massive run on Yoshi's circuit because he has a level 6 Yoshi. So he didn't grind the one track. He waited until after week 2's ranked mode started to grind the track, which is completely unlike him. If you know Isai, he's very competitive, but what that did is that allowed him to win the second week. Normally he would come in like second or third in the second week, but since he underbaked, he was able to get fair competition and win both weeks. So amazing job, Isai. Congratulations on being the boss of free-to-play. And we're not all going to rest. We're all going to come and try to claim the title from you. You have to be patient in terms of investing in ranked mode. You see that I haven't been using my rubies. I've not been using my tickets for the most part in ranked mode. And I have dropped a few tiers, and I have stayed level with that for the most part. And that's because I'm picking my spots. I don't want to just blow my tickets at an opportunity when I won't get a reward investment off of them. I want to receive something on the back end of using it to propel my account further. That's the capstone point I want to make. How do you know when you should invest? You shouldn't invest all at once if you're a free-to-play player. This is something that I will highlight as I go through the ranked analysis for this tour, because it factors huge in terms of the gold pipe that we'll be seeing. But if you're free to play, you can't just take, well, let me correct myself. You can take a driver from level 1 to level 6 immediately. However, you're going to miss all the value along the way. The real value of investing your tickets comes from only doing it one stage at a time, if possible. And that allows your weaker loadouts in the other tracks to not hold you back in terms of the ranked algorithm as you steal value back every time you invest your tickets. So that's something to keep in mind. Try to only invest one stage at a time if you're free to play. Even if you're pay to win or gold pass only, try to invest the minimum required to win. This is something I've had loads of great discussions with Arthur. So hey Arthur, but loads of great discussions in terms of he doesn't play with the same strategy that I present in these videos, but he tells me that introducing these concepts gets him thinking about how it applies to his own game, minimizing the amount of resources he uses for the same or higher benefit. So hopefully you guys find this information useful in terms of your own game, even if your sandbox looks totally different than mine. And that's my goal with doing these videos. The rankings results are on display. How did I do to end last tour? I came in 6th place. Look, that's pretty good considering my loadouts for the week, which we'll take a look at in a second. But it does provide me with an opportunity, or so I thought, to min-max in terms of get the maximum reward for tearing down and then look to get a win this week. So as you can see, it was a pretty rough group for me. However, I easily could have came in 4th place if I did more grinding. I just wasn't feeling up to it. Waluigi Pinball T, I only had a double, triple Banana Frenzy, and it was a weak double Frenzy, not even a full combo. However, the Sunset Wilds, I did get very lucky with a double coin Frenzy on a level 1 high-end driver, so only plus 2% Frenzy chance. My combo meter was over 100 on that, so I was very happy with the Sunset Wilds run, and that propelled me into 6th place without having to grind anymore. It got me out of last tour without too much frustration. Here we're at the Ninja Tour. A lot of you guys are hyped for it. If I'm being completely real with you guys, my enthusiasm isn't exactly on the level of your guys' enthusiasm, but that's because I have my own interests in the game, and a lot of them didn't come to fruition with this one. As I talked in my last video, I didn't pull on the banana pipe, and I was concerned moving forward that the value of those drivers wouldn't increase, and lo and behold, they didn't. So that's something that I'm just going to have to apply patience with as we move forward. But it's definitely a bummer if we take a look at week 1 of ranked mode. As you can see, for Ninja Hideaway, I don't have a top shelf driver. Some of you guys have Nabbit. You were lucky enough to get him either originally or in the Lucky 7 pipe, although not many free-to-play players pulled in the Lucky 7 pipe. Although I do know some of you did and got him, so big congratulations to you guys on that. And then you have the new driver, Shy Guy Ninja, who is a very good option because if you take a look, there's plenty of coin box drivers in the middle shelf. So that means that when you load your Ninja Shy Guy with the Boomerang Flower, you will be expecting to see a lot of coin box bots, at least on this track. So I have middle shelf coin box, much more welcome than bottom shelf coin box. I'm saved once again with the DK Maximum. Can you believe out of all the Kongs that were just in the banana pipe, none of them got a single track buff? But the DK Maximum that I pulled back in the Super Mario Kart Tour received another buff. Let's just take a little look here at the tracks that it's had. I mean, it's had Sunset Wilds T added to it. It had Berlin Byways 2, DK Summit, and now Ninja Hideaway. So DK Maximum has been huge. I still haven't invested into it, but that's because most of the weeks it wouldn't be a make or break on the investment. And it is Dash Panel Plus, and a lot of the tracks don't have dash panels. So it's definitely an odd cart in terms of value. Like it's been a huge save for me on a number of occasions, but it's really not one of those top tier carts to invest in. So still at level 1 for me. And here we see I have none of the gliders. I believe that this Butterfly Wings is now in the all clear pipe, so we all have a chance of pulling it now. But for the time being, I just have this Crimson Crane. So I'm looking at middle shelf, top shelf level 1, and middle shelf, no bonus points on this one. So not looking too good to start off with. And I looked ahead at the rankings and I saw that someone already has a level 5 double uncapped Nabbit against me. So, I mean, what are the chances I'm going to do well this week? Koopa Trooper Beach 2, I have Blue Yoshi. And there's also the gold coin box drivers that will be coming. So that's something that I'm going to bring up shortly. But for now, we'll just take a look at Blue Yoshi. We have the off-roader coming in huge once again. I only gave it 1 level and I uncapped it. So if I'm in a position similar to last week where I can make a little bit of a move, I'll take it to level 3. And if I can make a big move for first, perhaps I would consider even more than just a single additional level. But right now it's at level 2 and I only have a level 1 top shelf glider. So combo time will be decent, especially if I pull on the coin box pipe, which I know a lot of you are eagerly anticipating hearing if I'm going to burn any of my rubies on that pipe. But I'm going to keep you guys in suspense for just a little bit longer as I back it out. Rainbow Road RT. So here I have level 1 PGP or a level 2 Rosalina. Now I know from experience that the ceiling on each of these is relatively equal, right? if I get like the optimal coin box run with PGP, that's going to be equal to like a double coin frenzy with the bonus points with a level 2 Rosalina. So definitely a hard one to choose. I'd probably go with Rosalina, especially because she's one, I have a lot more super driver level up tickets that I'd be willing to invest, and she's one of the best in terms of coverage among the super drivers. PGP, of course, overlaps with some of the Kongs, so I keep her level low. That's something that I had already discussed earlier in the video. So for most of you, you want to invest in PGP, go for it. That's a great move. But in my particular case, that's not a great move. For kart, I have this Cloud9 level 3. It's finally coming in good because it's a reverse trick track. Most of the tracks are reverse trick or city. It doesn't have much regular track access. And here we have the Star Shoot, level 3, and I have no progress towards level 4. It is in the tier shop, as we'll see in a moment, but I would also have to ticket it to bring it to level 4. Great glider though. So, I mean, this week is definitely interesting because I tiered down and I looked at the rankings. I'm currently in 11th with just sleeper casual runs, but we can see that somebody's already at 47,000. And that brings me to the coin box pipe, and I'll talk about it now. It's believed that there will be a spotlight. However, it would be ridiculous if all 6 of the past gold drivers were in the spotlight. So it would be a 6 high-end driver spotlight for a 50 pipe. That would be on the order of the Mario pipe in the New Year's Tour 2021, in which you had all of the past Marios except for Santa Mario coming back, except that these items are even rare. So in terms of Tabor's list of most valuable pipes, that would far and away be number 1. It'd be hard for anyone to resist pulling on it, honestly. However, I think what's more realistic, I've spoken with some of you in the community. Dave has a really good pulse on this kind of thing, and we believe that there will be a partial spotlight. So it will be kind of like the Streamliner kart pipe, where perhaps we'll see King Bob-omb gold in the spotlight, the new coin box driver, and the other ones will be in the pool, and maybe it will be one spotlight high-end pipe, and there will be maybe like 3 of the random pool from past gold drivers available, which would be a very nice pipe, honestly, but not like completely and utterly broken in terms of how valuable it is. What would make me less likely to pull is if the old things were in the spotlight. There's some things that I don't particularly want at a high level on my account, such as Gold King Boo. He overlaps a lot with the Kongs. So that's one that I wouldn't want to look to invest tickets into. However, Gold King Bob-omb looks pretty clean right now in terms of tracks. And actually, he fills in a lot of tracks that I have either weak coverage or no coverage for. So that's something you guys can probably expect a massive pipe pull video from me. But when that is a great question. I discussed it with some of you guys on Discord, and I decided that I would probably live premiere it just because it is such a momentous occasion. I mean, take a look at the Ruby count. It's 1,191 as we sit right now. I've saved for 4 months, okay? And it's not, I don't save just to be proud and brag about a big number. I really don't like to go into the pipes. I think it's a very dark place of the game. And that's because, you know, it preys on the psychology of the players, and it really pulls out, like, it's basically gambling, and it factors in addiction. And what that does for particularly the unknowing or the youth among the player base, I don't think is very healthy. And it is very predatory with how it's set up. And I mean, when I call pipes a bait pipe or a scam pipe, I genuinely mean it. And I know many of you out there feel the same way. However, it's undoubtedly an exciting component of the game, and one that we must endeavor in if we're to be successful. So I've saved for a long time. I don't like going into the pipe because it's kind of nerve-wracking. I mean, it's always a roller coaster. So yeah, you guys are gonna probably see some pipe pulls, unless it's like something where you know, the old drivers or the spotlight and you have to go randomly for King Bob-omb, I'm not going in for that. So anyway, let's take a look at week 2, which should be the Larry Cup. We have Ninja Highway T, and once again, you can see I don't have a top shelf driver. King Bob-omb Gold would be that driver for me. Now the thing is, should I pull before week 2 or after week 2? Because if I wait until after week 2 starts, week 2 will be a driver ticket week, which means that the algorithm won't know that I have King Bob-omb Gold in my account. And if I get like 4th place, 5th place, 6th place in week 1, I'm gonna have an even easier time winning ranked mode in week 2. And for the driver ticket week, much more lucrative to win that. As you know, the power of drivers in terms of investing tickets is so strong compared to that of gliders. So that's a question that I'm gonna have to grapple with as this week progresses. I'm gonna do my runs, see what I can do. This all goes back to what I was talking about in terms of ticket strategy, because it's not just about the tickets, it's when you pull. It's when you have that thing on your account and how strong it is in your account at any given moment. And that's what they're picking up in terms of the algorithm, and finding opponents that can match within your relative range, either a little bit higher to force you to, hey, maybe this person will spend money in the game if we put, you know, 1 or 2 opponents who are too difficult. Or if it's been too difficult for you, they don't want you to leave the game, of course. So that goes back once again to the ranked mode explained video that I did. So there's a lot of thought that goes into this. So even with as glass half empty I've been perceiving the game, I couldn't pass up the chance to share with you my thought process and how I would navigate a situation like this, because there really is no clear answer, and the only way that I can have clarity is through time. I mean, time shows us so many things. You let the other players make the moves, and then the decision is made for you, and then there's less waste too. You don't make the decision hastily. You take all of the available information at your disposal and have a more informed decision. That's a great way to go about things, not just in this game, life in general. So what more can I say on that topic? So for here, I would be looking at bottom shelf coin box, but we're gonna be polling probably. Here I have a middle shelf cart. Ooh, the carrot cart. What do you know, the carrot cart sighting, people. That's very rare. And here I have middle shelf glider. Can I get anything in the top shelf here? Correct me if I'm wrong, this festival wings, I believe, is in the all clear pipe. I'm not sure about the toe bean balloons. I don't think that is. It's just Cat Peach in the cart, right? So I think it's just the festival wing. Doesn't look good here. Crimson Crane once again. Yeah. The other thing is too, you guys have seen that my momentum in ranked mode has slowed down, and basically when you amass this many rubies, it's really not a desirable thing, because if you think about it, if you convert all of these rubies into the CPR conversion, I basically have 500,000 coins in escrow right now. It's locked away. It can be injected into my account at any point in time, and it will be a massive stimulus when I go ahead with it. But I want to make sure that there's no regrets, and I don't mind just like fizzling around in the middle until I'm extremely satisfied with the game, because while I may not be like super happy with the direction that things have been going lately, I know that there's going to be amazing content along the way that's going to thrill me. So I want to make sure my account is in the premium position for when I can enjoy that, as opposed to using resources and compromising my position for a moment when I would really like to be doing well in the game. Another little tangent that I just went on there. Neo Bowser City T. Oh, we have a Kong sighting. Funky Kong, what do you know? Still no Dixie Kong in any ranked mode. Have you guys ever seen that? How something is in a pipe, and for 4 weeks in a row, while it's in the pipe and after it was in the pipe, not even an old track in ranked mode. Like, I know, like, we were talking on Discord about Baby Rosalina and Musician Mario being low value drivers in the big city pipe, but correct me if I'm wrong, those drivers were in ranked mode those weeks. Like, I mean, this is Nintendo. You have not done the Kongs very well, and it would do you guys a lot of good to do right by them moving forward. I would give much more glowing content for sure if they did. Anyway, P-Wing top shelf, and we have level 4 Wario Wing looking very good on this track. It's not going to make up too many points because, as you can see, well, there is the new Shy Guy. So if I get a whale, then you know, they could get a boombox frenzy, and then the point ceiling is going to be massive. And also with the coin boxes in the first track, and here we see there's a Lucky 7 driver and a Giant Banana driver in Rainbow Road 2T. What's interesting to note for the pay-to-win players in this track is that King Bob-omb has level 6 unlock access for this track, but that's a pay-to-win move. Look, I have enough tickets in Rubies, I could easily get King Bob-omb to level 6 and get an easy win, but the win isn't worth using all of my high-end driver tickets for. If you do the conversion, the cost-benefit analysis that I've shown you guys in past videos, it's massively wasteful. That's something that a pay-to-win player would do because they're injecting the resources into their account to be able to do that move on a regular basis. When you're free to play, you can't do the splash. You have to live with your circumstances. And I mean, that makes it less fun in a way, but it also kind of makes it more fun if you're looking for like competitive niches. As you can tell, like I've based my whole account around that. So once again, bottom shelf coin box. We have the Bad Wagon here. And oh, what do you look at that? The farts are back. We have silver and gold hearts. I don't think this is a new track though. This is one that it already had. So definitely can do some damage on this if I get the pulls and if I level things up. But that still remains to be seen. We'll take a look at the pipes when they come out. For this video, I can only do a should you pull on the current banner, which I'll get to in a moment. But first up, we have the shops. This was curious. I was really expecting, since this is the grand finale, we have login bonuses with the high-end tickets, but there's no high-end tickets in the tier shop. And it was like, Intern 4 was definitely up to his old tricks because he's like, wait, you guys, shouldn't we put something really good in this? And he's like, well, how about the one in the bottom right? Yeah, we'll just put a high-end cap ticket there, but no other high-end tickets. Inexplicable. This is a one-of-a-kind token shop for sure. In terms of my daily selects, I'm now exactly 50% of the way through on my super gliders. And if I do polls, that will speed up the rate that I can get to receiving tickets in my daily selects. Perhaps by the end of the tour, if not, definitely the subsequent tour. And the tier shop, we have Monty Mole. Has a lot of tracks, but Monty Mole is definitely one of the lower value super drivers. We have the Poltergust 4000, really not a good cart. But we have the Starshoot, and honestly, I'm on the fence about purchasing this. You know I love to purchase the 10,000 gliders on the top row in the tier shop because it's basically that 10,000 coin ticket, but it's applied directly to that specific item. This one is a great item, but I want to make sure that when I max out my super gliders, I have the requisite tickets and coins needed to purchase a high-end ticket the very next day because I'm going to max out the swooper as well. So that's something I'll decide later in the week. I projected my coins forward. It's going to be way over 40,000. So I might be able to purchase that and still adjust my coin strategy as needed for the daily selects tickets. We could see 13,000 coin high-end glider ticket. I pass on those. Now let's go to the pipe. Ninja Pipe 1. I predicted a really juiced up pipe. And I was surprised to see we only had 3 spotlights, and if we check out the details here, only 6 high ends. But remember, I said that if they introduce a new coin box driver, it likely would only be a 6 high-end pipe, perhaps a 9 high-end pipe, and that would be to avoid diluting the value of that new driver. And as you can see, Shy Guy Ninja has the boomerang flower, which is a higher point ceiling than the coin box. Because what happens is if you arrange it so that you're in like 5th place and get a boomerang frenzy with a bot activating a coin box, you're going to swallow up all the coins. Whereas like a coin box driver has to navigate through, and you're going to miss some coins. There's no way you can collect them all, but with the boomerang flower you can. So the point ceilings are outrageous for this. It's an item that a lot of you guys have wanted to see for a while, and it's finally here in the form of a high end. Should you pull on this pipe, look folks, it's the standard 6 high-end 100 pipe. Use my pipe pull probability spreadsheet. You only pull on this, I'm speaking directly to the free-to-play players, you only pull on this pipe if you're going to invest directly into this character or into the other items. If you're not going to invest into them, you don't want to pull on this pipe because that's just you wasting resources. However, this character is one that you probably do want to invest resources into. So is this worth jumping into 100 pipe with only 6 high ends? Absolutely. I don't plan on doing it because that's not how I plan to spend my tickets. But if I was willing to spend my tickets on this character, 100%, especially you need to have 450 rubies or close to it. 360 or higher, I would say, to really have a very reasonable chance of acquiring the character. Be careful about looking at what other people pull from their pipe. Just because other people are lucky does not mean you will be lucky, okay? Within the range of probabilities, there will be outliers at both ends of the tail. So if someone gets it in their free pipe, which I will do with you guys right now, it does not mean that you will. So in terms of what I'm expecting to get from this pipe right now, absolutely nothing. That's what my expectations are. I'm just hoping for a super. Look, there's 3 pipes, decent chance to get a super. If I get a high end, that is the icing on the cake. So let's go. What are we looking at here? First one up. Green pipe. What a shocker, right? And hey, Koopa Troopa, level 4. It's a normal. Nothing to write home about. Second one up. Also green. Oh, birthday girl. Hey, I think somebody else in the Discord said they got a birthday girl. I think it was Arthur. He got a high end and he didn't write about his birthday girl. Come on, man. It's a really good card. And the last one. Also green. Can we get a fake? Super. Come on, super. Nope. Oh, bitty buggy. That's really rough. Ooh. If you like this content, smash the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Look, I post weekly content. It's geared towards free-to-play players, but it's a lot of thought-provoking concepts that will be sure to stimulate any player, whether you're Gold Pass, pay to win. We have a lot of fun in the comments, always very detailed conversations, very high quality. So I'm very proud of our comments section here. And most of all, stay tuned for the pipe pull video. I'm not going to promise 100% that I'm pulling on the pipe, but I already outlined the scenarios with you guys for which I will. And if that's the case, we'll have a live premiere. So stay tuned, you guys. One last thing. Shout out to Apollo for sharing the videos on Reddit. I'm not huge on self-promotion, as you guys know. However, it means a lot that you guys are willing to share my videos with other communities, and that hopefully this information is beneficial to more people out there. So once again, thank you, Apollo. Take care, you guys.